He who allows oppression shares the crime. MTN oppressing Nigerians. It is not news that Nigerian businesses in South Africa are often confronted with xenophobic and other form of attack in South Africa. But here, Nigerians were so magnanimous, we have generously embraced South African businesses like MTN, offering them an ambience that allows them to thrive and enjoy unprecedented prosperity. Even though we know they are here for businesses, does the like of MTN reciprocate this generosity, this general disposition of Nigerians? Because evidence are abound how these people assert an oppressive, extortionist, and disingenuous business ruthlessness on Nigerians. The type when their own people and government no will even tolerate at all. A very frightening example is the copyright to theft infringement case in suit number FHC/ABJ/CRO111/2004 between the Nigerian Copyright Commission, NCC, and MTN and its chief official, Kola Olukotun Toriola, on the complaint of a Nigerian artist, Maleke Moye. The MTN had used the artist's song as coloring tone, without his consent and authorization between 2010 and 2017. That's 7 years. But when the guy requested for compensation for his own sweat from MTN, they started tossing him up and down, using all sorts of excuses to frustrate him. He went to report to NCC. And seeing that the NCC and the artists were determined to seek justice, MTN deployed state official institutions that were supposed to protect Nigeria against such oppressive practices to envelop and insulate MTN from prosecution. Guess who? FIAM. Now, our Attorney General. On the day that MTN and its MD were supposed to take their plea, the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation called for the file, that they were interested in the matter and that the file should be sent to the Office of the Attorney General. You will ask me, this unprecedented step by the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation on behalf of MTN was reported in Punch newspaper of 8 July 2024. The question I want to ask is, will the Attorney General of the government of South Africa intervene in a criminal matter committed by a Nigerian company in that country against the interests of South African citizens? Well, the answer is as good as mine. So why will the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation not stand by a Nigerian citizen whose creative work was illegally used by MTN for its business that the same MTN has not denied the same? So if the office of the Chief Law Officer of Nigeria cannot protect such a person, who then will protect the citizens against these oppressive tendencies? So what is MTN's defense for not paying the creative artists? Because one would expect that a reputable telecommunication organization like MTN will respectfully defend its conduct against the 3-count charge filed by the NCC on the 20th of March 2024 for using the work of an artist. But rather than, defend themselves, they use our own federal institution to oppress us. So that this behavior is not just one-off. It's endemic to these people. Apart from the case of the artists whose creative work they have used for years without pay, this same MTN has been occupying a massive property leased to them by one company, a Blind Test Company Limited, and has refused to pay rent for the said property for over 15 years. 7 years, now 15 years. How many years ago every day in Nigeria? Guess what will be the excuse for not paying? No, just guess. That despite the existence of a valid subsisting lease agreement with the company that is still alive, MTN said they don't know who to pay the rent to. You laugh, Abi. And I say, we no fit cry, make we dey laugh now. That is what we have turned Nigerians to. But if I may ask also, why does MTN deploy such method in its business practices in Nigeria? Well, I will tell you the answer if you don't know. It is called state capturing. These companies don't capture our country, finish, and if you do anyhow and treat us, the citizens, anyhow, I will not do anything because they can even use our officials against us. But if you remember, the government of Jacob Zuma fell largely due to accusation by the same South Africans of state capturing by private entities, such as those owned by the Guptas in South Africa. But here, the same South African companies are doing the same thing unhindered, thanks to our officials. Anyway, why these two examples I just mentioned now above may stand out because these Nigerians refuse to be oppressed and cowed. Many other Nigerians are out there who have been beaten into submission by the same MTN and other foreign companies will continue to remain in despair, forgotten and unjustly denied because they do not have the will or resources to stand against the oppressive telecom giant companies, coupled with the fact that, our own officials who should protect and defend us have taken side with these people. So I will therefore advocate. We must tell them, we must let them know that even if they capture our court, capture our officials, capture our institutions, they know if they capture our voice. They can't capture our mouth, as our mouth is our court for public opinion. And that is why I am talking. And that is why you must talk until justice is manifestly served. If state capture is an act that South Africans frown upon in their country, with consequences that are serious enough to bring down elected state officials, Nigerians must therefore join their voices in calling MTN to order before it does irreparable damage to the ethical and legal business ecosystem in Nigeria. For the ultimate tragedy is not the oppression and cruelty by the bad people or bad companies, but the silence, the collective silence over this oppression by the rest of us who are good people. We don't talk our own by highlighting these things. Also, okay, you do your own by sharing anywhere you see this video on all our social media platforms shown on your screen so that they go here. For according to Nelson Mandela, never, never and never again shall it be said that this beautiful land will again experience oppression by one by another. This beautiful Nigeria will not experience oppression by anybody. Say no to oppression of Nigerians by multinationals operating Nigerians using Nigerian officials. See you next week.